Welcome back again to Caring for Mum. One of the other videos I wanted to make, and I really need to jump back in time, fill in a little bit of information, then we'll jump back forward in time. But I need to take you on that jump backwards a couple of weeks to something that happened that I haven't made a video on, but it sort of relates to some other things that are happening a little bit forward. So mum has had a shoulder problem, sort of a degenerative disease in her shoulder. I'm not sure whether it's arthritis or what it was, but the shoulder over time has been deteriorating for a long time. 5-6 years ago they were prioritising a problem that she had in her back at the time. And we got the back operation done, and then the ovarian cancer came along, and then the bladder cancer came along, and then the leukemia came along, and now the secondary bladder cancer. But through all of that, Mum's shoulder has been an issue for a long time, and finally she got a call up to the hospital to go and see the surgeons for them to assess where she's at and what they could do. We had the appointment back on October 26. So Mum still kept her car. She finished driving last year, but she kept a car, and it was time for us to head in for her appointment at the Royal Brisbane Hospital. And on the way in, we had to brake heavily because the car in front of us had braked heavily, because the car in front of them were doing an illegal U-turn, and we were lucky we stopped in time and didn't hit the car in front, but unfortunately the car behind us was hit in a nose-to-tail accident by the car behind it, and it caused a 3-car pile-up, of which we were the first car. So I don't know whether you've ever been in a car accident, but as I was slamming my brake on and coming to a fast stop, my eyes sort of went to the rear vision mirror. I could see Mum in the corner of my eye, and I don't even know whether I reached across to hold her or whether I don't know. But I looked in that rear vision mirror and I saw everything happening in slow motion, and I just knew the car was going to hit us, and it did, and it hit, and we're on a major busy road, and we're on the way to a doctor's appointment, and before I know it, Mum really was in a highly distressed, upset state, as you would expect, and there were cars pulling up around us, and it was just a mess. And look, I got out of the car and I checked on the woman that was in the car behind us, the young bloke that was in the first car, this large Toyota Land Cruiser. Look, it wasn't his fault. It was a terrible mistake, but something interesting that came out of it. So it was interesting. 2 out of the 3 cars in the accident weren't insured. Thankfully, Mum's car was fully insured, so we've been through that process. I may make a video on car insurance. I don't know whether I'm going to, but certainly it was a real experience going through the insurance claim on Mum's car. There's a bit of a story to that. I don't know whether I'll make a video on it. Maybe I will. But what was interesting was that day we did make it to hospital with Mum. It just happens to be a different hospital for a different reason. So ambulances turned up, the fire brigade turned up, police cars turned up, and the ambulances wanted to take Mum into Chermside Hospital, and certainly wasn't going to stop them from doing it, but they wanted to get her in there and check her over. I think after everything has happened, what we've seen is that Mum's got a little bit of whiplash. I think I've got a little bit of whiplash. But it was one of those unexpected things that happens, and it's just a part of life. And unfortunately, we were in the wrong place at the wrong time, and were involved in this accident. So The reason I want to comment on it is that there were a couple of things that sort of followed on over the last couple of weeks after that accident. But resilience and the ability to continue to respond to challenges as they arise is something that I think we've all just got to build into what we do on a daily basis, because everything doesn't go perfectly. Everything isn't always easy, and we can't always approach everything expecting that it's all going to be nice and calm and well organised. When we are caring for the one that we love, when we are caring for somebody close, we've got all of the normal challenges in life that we have, but there will be unexpected things that turn up just as a routine matter of life. I don't really have advice on this. It's just it's kind of a reflection. It's something that we weren't expecting on the day, and it does has ongoing ramifications now. But certainly from a series of events that are carried on for the next couple of weeks, worthwhile keeping in mind that stuff is just going to happen at times. So for us, there were no major injuries. The person in the car behind us didn't have any sort of major injury. The young bloke in the white Land Cruiser, you couldn't even tell that his Land Cruiser had been in an accident. Mum's car was a bit of a mess, has been written off, but at the end of the day, everything's pretty much back to status quo, and life goes on. Anyway, that's a little bit of an update, bit of a catch-up. The message is be prepared for the unexpected, because your focus can be taken away at any time by things that you just won't expect to come up. Thanks for joining us again. I will be back very soon with updates on recent doctor's appointments and more about Mum's miraculous turnaround that we continue to experience over the last couple of weeks. All the best, and God bless.